This video is sponsored by Alset Ehome, whose mission it is to accelerate the advent of sustainable, healthy living systems around the world. Hi, welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 79. A Tesla made yet another world record. And a lot of speculation about Tesla's AI Day is going around. And I got some new cool gadget for my Tesla. And the Tesla Model Y coming out of the Giga Texas factory is closer than we think. And the US EV plan is kind of a low bar. It's hardly a bar. All this and much more to come on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Their Tesla stock finally got back over $700 per share and stayed there. The stock market is always a little late when it comes to Tesla. When Tesla made a record-breaking Q2 earnings report, the stock went down. And then a week or two later, analysts finally gets it and the stock starts moving up again. And the Swiss central bank also believe the stock will continue to rise because they just increased their position in Tesla by 100,000 shares to 2.9 million shares at the end of Q1 2021. Yeah, they know which way Tesla is going. Up, up and away. Just look at this chart from James Stefansen's tweet where we can see Tesla's quarterly revenue. A very good visualization of Tesla's growth. The first two quarters here in 2021 is bigger than the entire year of 2018. Or Q2 alone is bigger than the entire year of 2017. How can people continue to talk about Tesla being a busted growth story? That is just ridiculous. They are just growing like nothing else year after year after year. Do you remember good old Mark B. Spiegel, Mr. BS, that in 2015 made this tweet predicting Tesla's future? 2016 will be the highest market share Tesla ever gets in the entire history. And by early 2020s, its debt will bankrupt it. Wow. That did not age well. And speaking of debt, Tesla actually paid off some of its debt in Q2, 1.6 billion to be exact. So they are again down to about $10 billion in debt. But Ford and GM, on the other hand, are drowning in debt. GM has over $100 billion in total debt, and Ford has over $150 billion in total debt. And the company in the world that has the most debt is Volkswagen. It has over $200 billion in debt and only have about $45 billion cash on hand. Tesla has close to twice the amount of cash on hand than they have debt and still managed to grow like crazy. And Ford has a little over $40 billion and GM has a little over $30 billion cash on hand. And all of these three big OEMs don't earn money on selling EVs. And they have to spend billions and billions of dollars to make the transition to EVs. Yes, it is not Tesla that has a huge amount of debt. It is the old OEMs. They are in trouble, not Tesla. As I showed you on last week's news show, Elon did tweet about the AI Day being held on the 19th of August. But now the invites has come out. And Dennis Hung did tweet about his company having a non-disclosed agreement with Tesla and said Tesla will reveal something new at AI Day in AI and robotics. And it was not to do with the Dojo computer. So this is very exciting. There has been a lot of speculations about what this could be, maybe some kind of robot for manufacturing. That could make sense because one of the big bottlenecks for Tesla's growth is being more and more people. In 2022 and going forward, it will no longer be batteries, it will be people. Even Elon just tweeted that the biggest challenge is recruiting enough people to build cars. Well, Ford hoped to cut 1,000 jobs in the US, but they can just go work for Tesla instead. They need more people because they are growing and Ford is shrinking. But an AI robot that can help with manufacturing would be great. As Elon found out, it is not easy making cars without humans, but when Tesla solves a really big piece of real-world AI, vision, that could be used in getting some of the robots to actually know and understand its surrounding. So this could be a thing for them going forward. And one more thing they have taken care of that will help Tesla with their growth, not having to hire 10,000 people every time they open a new factory, but maybe only 5,000. As Elon said, Tesla will be head and shoulders above everyone in manufacturing. But others have been speculating about the last meter delivery robot. And that would also be a great idea for the robot taxi. When they go around delivering stuff to people, they could have a robot that could deliver the package the last couple of meters up to the house. No matter what they have up their sleeves, I can't wait to hear more about it. I think we will see some really cool stuff at AI Day. That will just again show how far ahead of everyone Tesla is. But most of Wall Street will probably not understand anything coming out of AI Day, but just say they can't do that or they're just a car company. But I can't wait. This event is going to be very exciting and a little peek into yet another big business of Tesla's, AI and robotics. And the US President Biden wants to get the US to 50% EVs by 2030. But that includes hybrids. Plug-ins here in Europe will likely not be included in the near future as green vehicles because they are not green. They still have a combustion engine that does most of the driving. And that means the old OEMs will continue putting these stupid hybrids on market using valuable batteries that could have been used in making real EVs. And the problem is also there is no minimum to this plan. It is only a goal. 0 EVs in 2030 is okay. It's not like here in Europe or China where if you don't reach a certain goal, you will get penalties. With this plan, automakers don't have to do anything. So nothing really substantial here. And including hybrids, they only set a goal of 50% in 2030. That is kind of a low target. That is only about 8.5 million plug-in vehicles in the US by 2030. And Tesla will probably produce something like 4 million vehicles from the Fremont and Texas factory alone in 2030. And you know Europe and China are pushing much harder for this. If the US is only at 50% including hybrids, in 2030 there will not be much left of new ICE sales in Europe or China. So if this is where Ford and GM expects to be in 2030, they will absolutely not survive this. Tesla will be the only American car company left. Maybe together with Rivian and other new EV startups, because no one will buy an ICE car at that point. It will be banned in most countries in Europe at that point, but ICE cars will be more expensive than EVs in 2030, also much earlier than that, but I have made a lot of videos about this topic. So who will buy a more expensive car in every single way that is worse in every single way? No one. So I don't think this plan will save Ford or GM because it's not pushing them to do this much faster than they have already planned. And sorry, but this is just not fast enough. And the funny thing is that Biden invited the CEOs from the US car makers to the White House EV event, except Tesla's CEO Elon Musk. What's that about? The company that is responsible for that GM and Ford makes EVs in the first place and accounting for 50+% of the US EV market. Without Tesla, even this low target will not be reached. Just saying. Yes, I know it's probably because Tesla is not a union worker, but come on, you are going to talk about EVs and don't invite Tesla, the biggest EV maker in your country. Even Elon thought this was kind of weird. And GM is a union workplace, but it's also moving the making of EVs outside US. GM plans to invest more than $1 billion in a plant in Mexico to produce electric cars for its US market. Yep, Tesla is even the most American-made EV there is on the market. And when asked about it on CNBC, why Tesla was not invited, we never got an answer. Just that there are so many leaders in the EV market. What? Please don't call Ford a leader in the EV market. They make great electric cars, but they sold 13,000 EVs in the first half of 2021 globally. That's not leading anything. Sorry, but there are only one leader, and that leader was not invited to this EV meeting. That's just weird. Or maybe Dave Lee is onto something. I think Biden didn't invite Elon Musk to today's party because Techno King is technically a higher position than president. And as some of you might have seen on my Twitter account, I gave my little Tesla a birthday present. Because I have had it just over 2 years now, but it has also just passed 90,000 kilometers, and I have had 0 issues, 0 service check, and 0 maintenance. That's not entirely true. I did get a new pair of summer tires this summer, also because the old summer tires has been on the racetrack here in Denmark. But other than that, $0 on maintenance on the car. So I thought it deserved a little update. So I went down to Hamburg in Germany to Amtech, that is part of the company eOffers. Well, they are one and the same, but eOffers works with the China and the US market, and Amtech is for the European Union. They were actually the first one to put an automatic trunk in a Tesla Model 3, and even sold a couple of these automatic springs to someone at Tesla. And Tesla is now using the same kind of automatic springs in the Model Y and Model 3's trunk. So that's kinda cool, but I did not get the automatic trunk, but I got the automatic frunk. You can buy the parts online and do it yourself, but I'm just not that kind of handyman, and I don't feel comfortable doing this to my car, so I got these guys at Amtech to do it, and about 1 hour later my Tesla was ready to go. But I actually got another little thing in the car as well, a little dongle underneath the middle console. That makes it possible for me to make a vehicle diagnostic, because Amtech has also a very cool Tesla app, but in this app I can now see everything about my Tesla, not just the analytics of the driving and charging as it also does. As you can see here, I did a lot of driving in July on my road trip, but real deep dive into the health of my car, its batteries and so on. I can make a self-diagnosis. This is pretty cool. I actually really like this app. It's kind of become my go-to Tesla app, of course, especially now with this new dongle, but I really like the front page of the app where you have all the controls ready to go, not like in the Tesla app where you have to go into a menu to get to the button to open the charging port, for example. Here you have everything right there when you open the app, and pretty much all the info you want, like temperature inside the car, how fast you're going or are you parked, or the range of the car, the location of the car. And it just has some nice little touches, like the wheels are turning when the car is driving, the fan is turning when the climate control is on, and it even changes the fan speed if you turn up the fan speed in your car. Nice little touch. But I think I will go down there and pimp up my Tesla a little bit more, maybe to get the automatic trunk as well. The trunk just works so great, and they have these pop-out handles that greet you when you come to your car, and the door gets these soft close. That's just cool, right? So all these little things Tesla does not make to make the car more affordable for them to make, Amtech can put in your car, so you no longer has any compromises. So I think that could be very cool to pimp my Tesla a bit. I just need to save up a little bit more before I can do it. And we got some great news coming out of Giga, Texas. And Joe Techmeyer tweeted, there is a high probability from a trusted source that the first fully complete test Model Y, operational but not street legal, will be built at Giga, Texas within the next week. That is simply just great news. If this is true, then the production of the Model Y from Giga, Texas could be much closer than we think, and beat Giga Berlin to it. But very cool if they are actually ready to make the first test production. Then we should not be far from the real production, maybe a month or two. That would be awesome. And I also got some great news of Alset Ehome, the sponsor of this channel. Firstly, they have made 30 e-homes in Texas now, and 29 of them already have people moving in, so that's very cool, and also mean that Alset is actually ahead of the schedule to get to a 100 e-homes by the end of 2021. And I just had a meeting with them, and they are also on cost for building the e-homes. And all of these e-homes will of course get into American Home Real Estate Investment Trust to refund capital back to e-home to invest in more e-homes. But Alset has also come up with very cool new ways to help customers renting their houses to get their bill down. Because in 2 weeks time Tesla will come and install all the solar panels and power walls and so on, and then Alset will actually use the excess energy from the houses not to sell back to the grid, but to mine crypto with 100% green energy. This would sit very well with Elon Musk, right? And they would also do this on a large scale when they will build the whole Alset Ehome community in Blackout, where they will also have solar farms connected to the community, so the excess energy would be even better, and helping the people living in the houses to not just lower their electricity bill, but also to mine crypto. That is a great idea, to use the excess green energy to mine cryptocurrency. Brilliant. I know some of you have a hard time understanding the Alset Ehome business model, and I did too in the beginning, because they have so much under the Alset International umbrella, and I think this is why the stock of Alset is getting hammered. I don't really understand why. In 2020 they made $45 million in profit. They have $0 in debt. They have more cash on hand than their market cap is valued at. That's just kind of nuts. And they own the land in Blackout, and their American Medical Real Estate Investment Trust has an 8% yield. That is one of the best performing real estate investment trusts on the Nasdaq, and they expect their American Home Real Estate Investment Trust to also get an 8% yield that will go online in just about 90 days. So they just have so many good things going on and are ahead of schedule and have no debt, a lot of cash on hands, so I don't know why they are so heavily shorted. But again, I didn't understand why Tesla was the most shorted stock in history, and that did not end well for many short sellers like David Einhorn, who had almost $12 billion under management. But then he began shorting Tesla and he went down to $2.5 billion. Yeah, it can really hurt shorting the wrong companies. And SpaceX lifted the super heavy booster on the orbital launch pad. This is just going to be so amazing. And then they put up the Starship 20 on top of this huge thing. Just mind-boggling. Can't wait to see this one fly. And if you think the booster 4 and the Starship 20 is on purpose, Elon assured us that this was totally coincident, and that the booster was original 70 meters high, but they eliminated half a barrel for manufacturing efficiency. So now it's 69. Yep, fate loves irony. And SpaceX is now also providing Starlink internet service to 90,000 users across 12 countries and counting. I'm still waiting for mine. And if you haven't already seen Tim Dodd's The Everyday Astronaut's video about him getting a tour around the SpaceX site by Elon Musk himself and geeking out over rockets, you must see this video. Elon just gives so much great stuff in this video and answers all Tim's great questions, and they just both have a great time. Elon did tweet that he had a headache and back pain while doing this tour, but that he would like to do it again with Tim in a month or two. That is just so cool. Elon Musk is just an amazing CEO and an amazing guy. Please go watch this video if you haven't. It will brighten up your day. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. And Ray for Tesla tweeted, rumor of the day, multiple sources reportedly claim BYD will provide Tesla China with LFP Blade batteries starting in Q2 2022. Tesla vehicles with Blade batteries are already in the C-stamp testing phase. Very interesting, if this rumor is true. And once again, Tesla saved lives. A Tesla owner in Norway suffers unconsciousness while driving. Tesla Autopilot detected it, slowed, come to a stop so EMS can help. Don't know if he just fell asleep, but he looks kind of unconscious. But no matter what, it is a good showcase of how the Tesla can save your life if you pass out. In a recent run at the Worldwide Technology Raceway, the Tesla Model S Plaid ran the quarter mile in 9.08 seconds with a trap speed of 155 miles per hour. It was a world record, beating Jay Leno's time of 9.247 seconds, or the popular YouTube channel Drag Time's 9.248 seconds. It just keeps getting better and better. Panasonic is preparing to install a new production line in the Tesla Gigafactory Nevada. We knew they would ramp up the battery production in 2021, but now we see in their quarter financial result report that they expect to start operation in August 2021. Nice. And Revel finally gets its 50 Tesla Model Ys on the streets of New York. This is going to be such a good advertising for Tesla, as the COO said.
I think a lot of it because people are just excited to get in a Tesla, excited to try this new service. But just keep in mind that for the vast majority of people that are trying Revel Rideshare, this is the first time that they're not only getting in a Tesla, this is the first time that they're getting in an electric vehicle in general.
Tesla battery factory at Giga Berlin gets first reinforced concrete pillars at the construction progress. Oh yeah, Tesla's 4680 cell battery factory will soon start taking shape. And DHL ordered 12 Alice EV planes from Aviation. They can be recharged in 30 minutes per flight hour. Freight capacity is 1.2 tons and the plane has a range of 850 kilometers. DHL want to become the first company with an emission-free plane fleet. That is so cool. And Robert from Electrified tweeted about his Powerwall. I can't help it, I'm a bit disappointed. Our house has been running on batteries for 7 hours and 40 minutes due to a scheduled power cut. I was slightly worried that we would run out with water heater, cooker, server, etc. running. Grid power just came back on and battery at 98%. Yes people, this shit works. And SpaceX Inspiration 4 mission will be a Netflix documentary series. Nice, I'm definitely going to watch that. And if you want to know the difference between an electric car and a computer on wheels, don't forget to watch my latest video on this. I will leave a link in the description below. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest patrons and members of this YouTube channel. Jonas Lismont, Eric White, Grain McClelland. And I thank you for watching, members. Rickard Cornell, Stephen Kent, Alan Powley, and Hugh O'Neill. MRB Nice and You Are member, HMS Epic Return. Thank you all for your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. Yes, Tesla's cars are much more fun to drive. Even this little girl knows it.
Mommy took the Model Y to work. So we have to take Mommy's gas car. What's the matter?
I don't want to take Mommy's car.
Oh, come on.
Then we take this.
I know.
That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps this video out a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. And if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to a donation options in the show notes. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only, so don't miss out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.